Hello, and have a wonderful day. Have you ever found yourself waking up in the middle of the night at exactly 3 a.m. and being unable to fall back asleep? The moonlight quietly filters through the curtains. The house is eerily silent, yet your mind is filled with vague worries. Is this a sign of aging? Is something going wrong in my body? Don't panic just yet. Waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. is not a random occurrence, and it's not simply about getting older. For many women over the age of 60, this period marks a subtle turning point in their circadian rhythm, emotions, and overall health. According to Eastern traditional medicine, the hours between 3 and 5 a.m. are when the lungs are most active, not only associated with respiration, but also deeply connected to emotions like sadness, regret, or lingering anxiety. Meanwhile, modern research on sleep and hormones shows that this is also when melatonin levels drop and cortisol begins to rise, making you more sensitive to worries and more easily awaken. So if you're an older woman who frequently wakes during this time, it's not your body being stubborn, but rather a gentle message your health is sending you. An invitation to pause, to listen, and to care for yourself in a deeper way. In today's video, we'll explore 5 simple yet powerful things you can do the moment you wake up during this special window of time. These habits not only help you fall back asleep more easily, but also soothe your emotions, stabilize your heart rate, and bring lightness to your body and soul. Stay with us until the end, because sometimes those quiet moments of waking in the night carry within them a hidden opportunity for healing, reconnection, and starting a new day with meaning. When night falls, we often expect sleep to come the moment we lie down, but the body doesn't always cooperate. There are nights when you toss and turn, glancing at the clock, thinking, if I don't fall asleep soon, I'll be exhausted tomorrow. The more anxious you get, the harder you try to force yourself to sleep, and the more awake your mind becomes. Have you ever experienced that? In reality, the harder you try to sleep, the more elusive it becomes. The pressure to fall asleep unintentionally activates the sympathetic nervous system, the fight-or-flight mode, raising cortisol levels and putting the body in a state of tension while the mind races with thoughts. Sleeplessness stops being a simple issue and turns into a quiet mental struggle in the night. But the good news is, you don't have to fight yourself. Sleep will return when you create the right conditions for it by letting go of expectations and shifting into a natural state of relaxation. Instead of lying there in frustration, gently sit up. Try the 4 to 6 breathing exercise. Inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. This breath pattern activates the parasympathetic nervous system, helping the body enter a state of rest and recovery. At the same time, adjust your sleep environment. Soft pillow, warm blanket, and an ideal room temperature of 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 to 19 degrees Celsius. If your mind is full of ideas or worries, write them down on paper to release them and set them aside temporarily. Remember, not being able to sleep is not a failure. It's a reminder that you need to care for yourself in a different way. When you stop forcing and begin treating yourself gently, sleep will return naturally. It's not about control, but about the right kind of letting go. And if at that moment your throat feels dry or you feel restless, it may be time to try another simple yet effective action. Drink water wisely. You wake up in the middle of the night, your throat dry, your heart racing, or simply feeling inexplicably restless. It's not due to a nightmare nor any particular noise. It's just your body trying to say something. And often that whisper is simple. I need water. Drinking water at night is nothing new, but how you drink it and what kind of water you choose makes all the difference. A quick gulp of cold water from the fridge might jolt you fully awake, but a sip of warm water, or water at room temperature, can help bring your body back to a state of balance and ease. That's because your body naturally loses water during sleep through breathing, metabolism, and even the surrounding temperature. When dehydrated, everything tightens up, from your muscles to your mind. And sometimes the anxiety or racing feelings you experience at night aren't psychological. They're due to an electrolyte imbalance. This is when you need to drink water mindfully. Not in large amounts, but in the right way. A small sip of warm water, perhaps with a bit of lemon juice or a pinch of natural sea salt, Not only replenishes minerals, but also helps stabilize your electrolytes, calm your heart rate, and ease your restlessness. Even a light herbal tea, like chamomile, peppermint, or another non-caffeinated option, can be a gentle companion during restless nights. These teas contain natural compounds that relax the nervous system, soothe emotions, and gradually guide you back into sleep. Turn drinking water at night into a small ritual, a way to listen to your body with kindness. Don't drink just because you're thirsty. Drink because you are caring for yourself. That small act, done mindfully, holds the power to bring you back from a place of imbalance to a state of calm. And if you're wondering, can a single sip of water really make a difference? Remember, it's the small things that often bring about the greatest changes. Just as a light rain can cool the heat of a summer's day, a sip of water at the right moment can soothe the chaos inside. Your body doesn't need much to feel loved. Sometimes it only takes a gentle choice, a simple action, a little warm water in the night to make you feel safe, comforted, and ready to sleep again. And if tonight you're still awake, that's okay too. Drink water, breathe deeply, and let your body slowly unwind. When you care for your body like a cherished friend, it will know how to heal itself. Because not all rest comes from deep sleep. Sometimes rest comes from the moment you choose to treat yourself with gentleness. You wake up at 3 a.m. There's no loud noise, no clear reason, just your eyes wide open in the stillness of the night. In that moment, while the world is still asleep, you realize something is keeping you from feeling at peace. Emotions don't always show up clearly like a headache or a surface wound. They hide in a quickened breath, in a quiet sigh, in the way you startle awake from a vague dream. According to Eastern traditional medicine, the hours between 3 and 5 a.m. are linked to the lungs, the organ that holds emotions like sadness, regret, or unnamed worries. Instead of pushing these feelings away, try doing the opposite. Sit up, breathe slowly, and gently ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Maybe you're anxious about an upcoming meeting. Maybe an old sadness has resurfaced. Or maybe it's just an emptiness you've never quite named. Whatever it is, allow it to exist, without judgment, without resistance. Take a piece of paper and a pen, or open a note-taking app. Write down 3 thoughts or emotions that are present at that moment. You don't need to analyze or fix them. Simply writing them down is a form of release. It's like having a silent conversation with yourself, giving those drifting emotions a place to anchor. After acknowledging your emotions, return to your body. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds. Exhale gently for 6 seconds, as if you're softly soothing your own soul. You can place a hand on your chest or lightly touch your shoulder, acts of gentle reassurance. This isn't about healing, but about being present. And the beautiful thing is, when you are truly present, things begin to calm on their own. Not everyone dares to face their emotions in the middle of the night, and if you're doing that, you're braver than you think. Emotions are a natural part of being human, and nighttime gives them more room to speak. But instead of running or suppressing, listen, like a friend silently holding space for another. And you know what? When you're gentle enough with yourself, you'll realize these 3 a.m. awakenings aren't accidents. They're invitations. Invitations to turn inward, to understand yourself more deeply. And from there, peace can begin, with something as small and simple as this. There are nights when you don't just feel restless in your mind, but your entire body feels uneasy. Your limbs seem to want to move, your heart beats faster than usual, and there's a rising urge that you must do something. Have you ever experienced that moment? When lying still feels impossible, and it's as if every cell in your body is begging to be released from an invisible tension? The truth is, when your body's under pressure, anxiety, or stress, it accumulates excess energy. And if that energy isn't released, it builds up, making you uncomfortable, agitated, and even less likely to fall back asleep. In that state, trying to force yourself to stay still often makes things worse. What you need is to allow your body to move, gently, mindfully, and with compassion. Start with simple movements. Softly turn your neck side to side, lift your shoulders, and let them drop. and bend forward to stretch your back. If you feel cold, rub your hands together and place them on your face or neck. You can also massage your feet, your knees, or gently sway your body from side to side, like a quiet dance in the dark. These movements not only stimulate circulation, but also send a signal to your brain. Everything is okay. I am taking care of myself. This small yet meaningful act not only soothes restlessness, but also calms your nervous system. As a result, you begin to feel lighter, more relaxed, and more ready to return to rest. Don't think of moving in the middle of the night as something strange or wrong. It's a natural instinct, just like how we stretch in the morning or walk to relieve stress. When you accept and listen to your body, it will gently guide you back to balance in the most natural way. And if you do this with gentleness, as if comforting a tired child, you'll realize that sometimes what you need isn't to sleep immediately, but to give your body a moment to be understood, to be released, to simply be itself. Once you've calmed your body through mindful movement, let gentle sound continue that journey. A soft melody, the steady rhythm of rain, or a slow-paced audiobook, any of these can be a bridge that leads you back to sleep. There are nights when, even though your body is still, your mind keeps running. The list of unfinished tasks, unspoken words, unnamed worries, they keep looping endlessly. You turn off the lights, close your eyes, but your mind feels like a movie with no ending. At that moment, you don't need another effort to fall asleep. You need a pause. A gentle doorway that shifts the mind from thinking to resting, and sound is that doorway. Sound has a remarkable ability to calm the nervous system. It doesn't have to be music or complex melodies. Sometimes it's just the sound of falling rain, waves crashing, rustling leaves, or the wind brushing through a crack in the window. These are types of pink noise, gentle, steady frequencies that help your brain synchronize with a slower, more stable rhythm. When you listen to these sounds, your brain no longer has to strain to process information. Instead, it's allowed to drift, to let go, and gradually move into a semi-conscious state, the gateway to deep sleep. Another way to soothe the mind is guided meditation. Just a 5 to 10 minute recording with a steady, calm voice and light content, such as breath guidance, visualizations of nature, or simple words of comfort, can be enough to distract your swirling thoughts and bring you back to the present moment. If meditation doesn't suit you, audiobooks are also a wonderful option. Choose light, positive content with a soft voice, not overly dramatic. The audiobook isn't meant to be fully understood at this time. It's meant to create a gentle sound rhythm to replace the noise in your head. What's important is this: let sound be your companion, not something you depend on. Listen for 10 minutes, then turn it off, or set a timer so the sound stops on its own. That way, you stay in control of your rest instead of becoming dependent. The right sound at the right time doesn't just calm the mind, it helps you feel comforted, like an invisible hug, like a warm blanket for the soul. And if tonight you're still awake, that's okay. Play a soft melody or a short guided meditation. Close your eyes, inhale gently, exhale slowly. No rush, no pressure, because you don't need to fall asleep right now. You just need to start letting go. When sound soothes your brain waves, sleep will arrive like a friend, not knocking loudly, but quietly sitting beside you in silence. Though sleep may seem like the most natural thing, for many people it can be a difficult journey, especially on nights when they wake up in the middle of the night. But you are not alone, and you don't have to fight sleep anymore. Instead, begin with gentleness. When you can't sleep, rather than worrying, try sitting up softly and taking deep breaths to soothe your tense nervous system. You can take a sip of warm water, perhaps with a bit of lemon or sea salt, as a quiet act of love toward yourself. When your mind feels cluttered, write down 3 thoughts that are coming up, so your emotions have a chance to breathe and be released. If your body feels restless, gently roll your neck, stretch your arms, or rub your hands together, allowing your internal energy to flow more freely again. And finally, if your mind still won't settle, invite in gentle sounds, a soft melody, a short meditation, or the sound of falling rain. These can be the key to opening the door to surrender and recovery. Sleep is not something to conquer. It is a reward for those who learn to treat themselves with kindness, even in the middle of the night. And you are doing just that. Every small act, every slow breath, every moment you choose to be gentle is a step closer to true peace. So next time you wake up at night, don't be quick to feel frustrated. See it as an invitation to turn inward, to listen to yourself, and to practice loving yourself unconditionally. Sleep will return, but first let your heart rest. Goodbye, my friend. See you in the next videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our latest content.